Join me for a little bit of whimsy.
Hi, Julie Torrance here. So last time we were together, we made these three whimsical birds. And I had said, next time we get together, which is today, we're going to work on incorporating this into some art. And I know that many of the people that watch my videos make junk journals. So what I did was I took two pieces of, this is dictionary page, glued them together. So this is two. And then I put gesso on one side. So I know that's something that most of you can do. And it doesn't have to be dictionary page. It can be book page. It can be whatever you want. And then I, keeping in that vein, found this piece of, this is just cardstock. It was just a scrap. And so I put some gesso on it. And then I was in the same scrap bin or stuff bin, and I found this sack. And I love sacks in my journals. So I may fold it like this, or I may do something, with this. I don't know, but I'm going to get something on here. So will we get through all four of these sheets? I don't know. But these two, once they're done, I'm going to hinge them back together, and then I can put them in a journal. And so I'm going to have the pictures be in this orientation. And I call this portrait, however you want to put it. Got my rows of paints. Use whatever paint you have. And it's kind of what I'm trying to show you today is that these are techniques, but use them with what you have in mind. Have a variety of brushes, and let's get started on painting some whimsical birds. And so the first thing I do when I see something like this is, where's my sky? Where's my land? And I think I'm going to pretty much sort of consider it in half. Now, I have this indigo that I made a while ago, but it's too much pigment to just waste. So I'm going to use it up, and I'm going to put some. Now, if I go off of the gesso, I don't care. It's fine. I might like it better. Your watercolors are not going to react the same. They just aren't, because you're on a gessoed surface, a lot less absorbent, really almost not absorbent at all. And I'm just bringing some of this color down. I'm getting kind of a foamy reaction. I don't know why that is, but that's fine. And I'm just bringing it down to the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to pick out a little bit of green. And yes, there's some indigo there. I'm just going to lay some green, and I'm going to pick up a different green. And I'm going into my pan and picking up another green. And there, good. I'm going to take a scrap of paper towel, and I'm just going to pick up some of this indigo, move my paper around a little bit, and I'm just making some fun clouds. Yeah, there, I like that, don't you? Okay, I like to have grass that has movement, so I'm just going to take a small brush. This is my number 2, and I'm just going to start making some lines in this wet paint. Now, will I be painting on top? I might, but it doesn't matter. It's just that when I come back to put some more lines in, it's going to give it a different look again. These may look like they are shining in the sun because some of them are more white. Do you see what I mean? It's just adding a little bit of something. Okay. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I hope so. All right, now, as I said, this is going to take a little bit longer to dry, and it never will be absorbing like watercolor paper, but it's still a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside. Now, when these two go into a journal, even though they're hooked together, chances are they won't be side by side. So I'm not worried about having them both be totally cohesive and together, or, well, do these colors match? Not worried about that. All right, taking a little bit of this indigo again. It's the epitome of use what you have. And I've got this indigo. There's no sense in wasting it. Now, I'm not getting well, I guess I am. I was going to say I'm not getting the bubbles that I got the first time, but yeah, I kind of am. This looks like a little bit of a darker sky. That's fine. Okay. And let's find some. I'm going to combine it this time. I'm going to put some of this color in. It's kind of a neutral color. I think it is like umber mixed with either some sepia or some black, or I don't know what I was doing. Doesn't matter. It's a neutral. But, could be kind of dirt. And I'm going to add some, do I have any yellow? Not really. I'm going to add some yellow. And I'm purposely making these lines very horizontal. Okay, I'm going to get a little green if I have any left. Maybe this is going to be the day that you just kind of clean off your palette before you wash it. Get as much up off of it as you can. And I'm adding that little bit of green. Good. Now I'm going back in with that small brush. And let me feel it. Yeah, I never even wet it. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm putting some lines in. Grassy lines. Well, Julie, they're all going to blend out. Not all. Not all. Every time you stick your foot in a river, it never will be the same. Those ripples are going to go somewhere. It will not be the same as if you didn't put your foot in. Well, that's the same with these lines. It will never be the same as if I had never done it. All right, rinse that off, and maybe I did rinse it off the first time. It's really quite a habit. Okay, I picked up again some white, some paper towel, and this time it's drying even faster. So I'm getting some really different looking clouds. Looks more like storm clouds. That's okay. Again, I'm getting some texture in the sky. Put some down here. Okay. That's good. All right. I'm going to set this one aside. Bring back our first one. Still wet. I can feel it. It's cold. But that's okay. Now, I'm going to put a couple of birds, and I'm going to make them, I'm thinking of a color. I'm thinking I'm going to at least start out with a yellow. That's just where the muse is taking me. Got a little bit of water at the top there. And I'm going to make this one, and I'm just kind of drawing right now. There she is. The colors below, because the gesso isn't as absorbent as watercolor paper, is going to be more willing to come up and mix with your other colors. It's okay. Let it go. I'm going to grab some of this color that's called bright red, and I'm just using, the little pan is dry, so, and my brush isn't that wet. And I'm just going to put some little dots here on her tummy. And I'm going to put a few dots up here, and then maybe some kind of a tail feather thing like that. Again, the colors aren't going to mix and blur and change the way that they do when you're working on watercolor paper, but it's going to be beautiful. So please just go with it. All right, now I'm going to make another one, another yellow bird. And I'm going to make this bird kind of facing forward. A little bit too much water. There we go. Nice. Good. And again, I'm just putting my tip of my brush into that red and giving this bird a few there, few here. Not really gonna see the tail. So just gonna leave that alone. I think I'm gonna take this red and put those little tufts that are where the legs are gonna come. Good. Now, switching up brushes, I don't really have a real fine detail brush. This is a number 2, and it's about as fine as I have. It's meaning like this is a 2, well maybe a 0 or a 0.1. But it, use what you have. I've got some purple here. I don't even know how much of this you can see. Got this purple here. I want to work pretty dry, so I just took some of the water out of my brush. And I'm going to put some flowers. And I'm just making them almond-shaped petals. Just almond shapes. Nothing fancy. And again, if my picture ends up rolling off the edge of the gesso, that's fine. I think those 3 are nice. I think I'll put one over here. Maybe a bud. Like that. Alrighty. And let's see. We got a lot of sky going on here. What are we going to do about that? Let's think a minute. I could put just a branch. Let's do that. Going back to the Grumbacher 8. And I want to come up with a branch color. I've got this color, which is kind of a orangish color. Mix it with this, which is that neutral color. Pull in as much as I can. I'll grab some of that blue. I'll grab some of this green. Some of this green. More green. This is a very transparent mix, I can see. I'm going to give it a try, but I may need to, add some more. Here we go. Shh. Yeah. Transparent enough for you? I can see it more that time. There. And got my hand at the back, and I'm just hoping to get a few little twigs at the end. Now, I can't see that. You can't see that. I'm going into the English red. I know. Working loose and wiggly. Am I going right on top of the lines I had? No. It's all right. Good? Yeah. Another one? The further away from the trunk, the smaller your branches. I'm just putting the very tip of the brush into the water. Looking good. I just leaned back to kind of look, and I was deciding if I wanted to bring those branches right off the page. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I'm looking. I'm going to add some leaves. I'm going to go back to my small brush, and it's the number 2. Yeah. Wetting it. Now, this is pretty well spent. I'm going into this color that is called green. Let's see. Ah. All right, dip water, green, and I'm just gonna start tap, 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 tap. Can you see what I'm doing? Complicated? No. Realistic? No. But does that matter? Don't get hung up on that. You think people are going to look at this and not know what it is? Of course they're going to know what it is. Just a little more pigment on the tip. Maybe it's spring. Maybe these are really more buds than leaves. Just put my tip in the paint. Closer to the trunk. I just put my tip in the water. The leaves will be a little bit larger. Let's make a few bigger leaves. All right, rinse, dab, dab. I'm going into a totally different green. This one's called olive. And I'll put some right here. Okay, kind of the same thing. And it's going to look like light is hitting it at a different angle, or leaves of a different age. So I am sorry that I have not been getting videos out like normal. And all of you who have contacted me with well wishes and all, thank you so much. Now I'm taking some of these lighter leaves and I am going a little further out where it's not connected to what we made as a branch. Little water, little paint. And we'll connect those up later, maybe. We'll see how the painting looks, what we think of it. Okay, I'm liking that. Yeah, cute. Okay, now, how are my birds doing? Pretty dry. I'm going in with my Posca. Not even going to be playing with some of these other things that sometimes work, sometimes don't. And now that I've said that, it'll be a crapshoot if this one works. I want to get these eyes on here. It looked a little bit shiny. Okay. How's that? I'm just Just giving it a look, see? It's not as if I can't come back to that. Little brush. And I am going to get this weird red color up here. Can you see that? I think so. I know it's got some white mixed in it. And so I think for this application of making some flower middles, it'll be just fine. Okay. Good. Let's set this one aside and let's grab the other one. Isn't this fun? Aren't you having a great time? Say yes. Oh, you say the nicest things. Okay. Different fantasy birds, huh? All right. Let's get some red. This is called carmine. And I'm going to mix it into that weird red. And I'm going to make round. Fill it in. And round. Fill it in. And one more. A little one. Round. Fill it in. How we doing? Yeah, looking good. I'm going to grab some orange, which is called flame red in this little kit of mine. And I'm going to put some dots at the tummy. Dots at the tummy. And I'm moving this tummy over a little this way. He just gets a couple dots. Yep. Okay. And what are we going to put down here? Well, I think we could have something on the ground that they're kind of looking at. What would that be? I've got an idea. I'm going into the madder red, and I'm using just pigment. And I'm going to put a little container, rimply top, filling it in with red. Yep. Nice. And I am going to grab already Posca. And I'm going to make some kind of 4-leaf clover looking things. Ooh. Well, that's a lot of paint. Maybe some 3-leaf clover and 2-leaf clover looking things. I'm just going into that bluish and picking up some ink. Few dots. Okay, that needs to dry. And I'm grabbing that little brush. I'm going back to that madder red. And now that I got the white dots on, I want this bigger. Yep, changed my mind. Totally fine. All right, now, what are we going to do up in this sky? I think I'm going to get a bigger brush, a square brush, wet it. Hey, it's stiff. I don't know why. Seems to have some old green paint in it. Maybe I set it aside without rinsing it good. That happens. Don't beat yourself up. I'm going into the white that comes with the paint It's called titanium white. It's not very, what would you say? Oh, it's more transparent. It's not very opaque for having the word titanium in it. I am just gonna go, and I'm just using the edge of my brush around some of these edges that I made when I used the paper towel. Kind of finding the clouds. But I'm picturing that the sun is higher than the clouds. So that's why I'm putting the highlights at the top. And I do want one that runs right off the page. Another one that runs right off the page. How's that look? Yeah. Now, rinse that off. And I'm going to grab this little brush. It's clean. It's just, a little bit damp. And I'm just going to go under most of these. And I'm just moving that white around a little bit. But I'm trying to stay still under that line. Because I kind of want that sharper edge that the square brush gave me. Use what you have. Just use the tip of a brush if you don't have a square shaped brush. Doesn't matter. Okay. Yep, I like those little clouds. I think they're fine. These guys are wet. They need to dry. I can't even put the eyes in. Nah, if I rush it too much, that's what it looks like. I rushed. All right, let's bring this one back. What do you think? Are we pretty dry? Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm going to move the paints aside just for a little bit. We'll see where this takes us. Taking this Sharpie, giving it a test. And I can see that this one has leaked in the past. It just kind of leaks in the lid, but I'd rather not have quite all that on my hand. All right, I'm gonna start at the top. So I'm just turned it over and I'm just putting a few wiggly lines, a few wiggly branches. Like that. Especially if I have a leaf that's floating, which I did on purpose. Just here and there. And sometimes just because that's the way it was. I'm going to turn it back around so I can see what I've done. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little wiggly branch over here. And not every wiggly branch needs a leaf. I think that fills this in nice. Good. Okay. Our friend's here. Let's give her an eye. And I've moved her pupil this way to be looking towards him. And I'm going to give her a talkative beak. Just like that. And I'm going to outline her. If I don't get it perfect, it does not matter. And outline her little tail feathers. And some of the lines going to these little red balls are going to go on this side of her head and some on the other side of the head, the back of the head. So some cross that line and some don't. Just like that. And tough, 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 tough. Little stripes on her legs. And I'm going to fill in every other one so they look striped. Yeah, like that. Good. I'm going to give her a wing. And is that dry? Yes. And should we keep going with the circles or with those little pointy feathers? Maybe like this. Kind of almond shaped. All right, good. Let's work on him. I'm just going to turn the paper a little bit. His eyes are looking down. And little eyebrows. Happy beak. And let's work on his little top knots here. Some of them are going in front, some behind. Good. I'm going to give her some eyelashes. And I'm going to give him those same kind of feathers. Front of his wing. Doot, 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 doot. And let's give him some legs. Real close together little stripes. Look at our whimsical birds. Aren't you just loving them? Now I'm going to hold the very back of my pen. And I want kind of jiggly, wiggly lines for these flowers, for their stems. And very, very tortury, wiggly, shaky leaves. Just to give them a different look. All right. I'm grabbing a thin Posca. Where's the Poscas? Here they are. Yeah. This one draws a little bit thinner. If it draws at all. Well, I think it will. We'll see. Nah, not gonna mess with it. Let's see. What is that one? Okay, let's see. Yep. I'm going around them with white. Few little dots in the centers. And here we go. Oh, this is cute. This is cute. This is going to be a fun little journal page, don't you think? Sure it is. 2025. And if we think we want a little more, we can always add it. But right now, I'm pretty happy. Let's grab the other one. With our stormy sky. Okay, this one still has some wetness going on. Let me give it a quick dry. That didn't take long at all. Yeah, it made it wrinkle a little bit. We don't care. All right, now let's go back to the Sharpie. And I want to grab, so I don't forget, maybe this color, kind of an orangey yellow color. All right. Starting with the birds. Well, in that case, you know me. I changed my mind. Does this one work? Ooh, I'm so glad I just pushed it down over there. Go gentle, Julie. Gentle. There's a lot of ink here. Good. We'll let those dry. Now maybe a little Sharpie. And of course I dragged it through what little bit was wet. That's all right. I'm making popcorn. I sure am. Does it look like popcorn? I think it does. Sure. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's get this one. Boy. Is this that flooding one? I think it is. Let's see. What I want to do is put some, it's not the flooding one, but that's all right. I want to put some white stripes on this. You know, like those popcorn bags. I mean, I'm just kind of trying to get that feel. We're not looking for, you know, photographic realism. Okay, now, this little guy. Let's give him one of those. Just a little beak. Little wings. Little feet. I'm going to wait to put the pupils in. But, yeah, he's looking cute. Few black dots on his tummy. This one, I'm going to turn it around so I'm not going through all that. And again, I'm going to wait on the pupils. Good. Now, another one? Sure. Maybe one more towards the back of the head since he's kind of showing us that way. There. Now this one, this one's kind of, it's definitely not a profile, but I'm going to put the beak like that. And this one is really looking down as well, but has a little smile. Okay, good. Should I try the pupils It's always my most favorite thing to add. Isn't that cute? Really cute. And I'm just going to put some circles. And this one, we're seeing a little more wing. Over here, a little more wing. And a foot. And some stripes. This one. Now I'm going to make the feet, the toes, the talons coming up. And I'm filling them in a little more to make it look a little bit exaggerated. See, that foot is reaching. That's what's going on there. All right, I'm going to outline my little popcorn bag here. And let's get some pupils in that one. This one has a little eyebrow going on. And I'm leaving the top of the head. Well, this one has a larger space. I guess I could put a little bit there, but I'm not gonna, your eye will fill it in. It will. Okay, good. And now I'm gonna take this color. It's kind of a pinkish, yellowish, beigeish. And I'm putting some of the popcorn whole. I am loving it. Okay, up here, I like having our clouds up there, and I'm just going to add a few birds coming home right there. All right, now I want to add some more grass to this one. I'm going for this pen, which I think writes just a little bit finer. It does. I want some grass in front of these bits of popcorn because I think it'll make them be more a part of the picture. This guy can have some grass by his feet. I like it. I think this is going to be a great journal page. And we used our whimsical birds. We used 2 of the styles. Well, you've been with me here for a nice long video. Since you're still here, and if you haven't subscribed, today's a perfect day. Subscribe, it's totally free. You will find another video that's going to pop up there, and it's going to be picked out just for you. Let me know what you think and wait for the pictures at the end. Bye now.